Today, the country paused to mark the 50th anniversary of Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial.
And because they kept marching, America changed. Because they marched, the civil rights law was passed.
The president was just one of many speakers who stood on the same spot Dr. King stood. Thousands showed up at the National Mall to listen, act, and reflect, including people from Hampton Roads. 50 years ago, a Hampton man was among those at the first March on Washington. He told quite a story tonight to 10 on Your Side's Anita Blanton. Anita?
Nicole, Frank Edgecombe is the director of university libraries at my alma mater, Hampton University. In 1963, he was an immigrant from Great Britain, seeing the world through a different lens. Taken in by a predominantly African-American congregation in New York and headed to the nation's capital in awe of the moment in history he was living firsthand.
I have a dream.
For so many people today, this march 50 years ago has only been seen on TV screens and read about in books.
I have a dream today.
But its impact was real.
I don't think that I would be where I am at today, and I don't think that my generation would be where we are today without such influence.
Without a movement that Frank Edgecombe remembers well.
We decided to go to the March on Washington. We rented 2 buses. And as we came into Washington, it was just amazing because the whole highway was just full of buses. You know, the response was just unreal.
People from different cities, all different walks of life, unsure of the reception they'd receive as they marched toward the National Mall.
Took over the mall, the whole mall, from the Lincoln Monument all the way back to the Washington Monument.
He says everyone was in high spirits, and one speech after another about jobs and freedom lifted them to a new level, especially one that we've come to know well.
I have a dream.
And eventually it came up to the culminating moment of the Martin Luther King speech, this rousing speech, almost as though he was in a pulpit in a church.
They knew in that moment that change would come, but he admits that 50 years later, they never thought it would look like this.
We didn't know when, we didn't know what, but something would have to come out of it.
A national mall full of Americans more united, but still experiencing some of the same burdens, listening to inspiring speeches culminating with a black president whose position 50 years ago could have only been a dream. Now, Mr. Edgecombe says he thinks today was an important memorial, although he doesn't feel Dr. King's full dream has been realized. He says that he went to Mississippi in 1965 as a civil rights worker, trying to register people to vote and integrate public places, and he saw the worst of society there, but has definitely seen change since then. He also says that he knows that there, as was noted today, there's still opportunities for growth ahead. Anita Blanton, 10 on Your Side.